大家好，香港時間晚上嘅11:06收聽收睇緊嘅係 Action World 世界頻道同埋 Facebook 直播，希望大家支持我哋世界嘅製作，透過 patreon.com/action 或者我哋嘅宗教節目捐贈平台 givesendgo.com/savehk，等我哋有更加多嘅資源走最遠嘅路。今日咧請嚟嘅互動嘉賓咧有天安門8964嘅幸存者之一，就有周鋒鎖先生喺度嘅。周鋒鎖 ，How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I'm very feel very excited being here and had a really productive trip. With 4 events commemorating Tiananmen, organized by different NGOs, as well as I got the opportunity to fly to Ottawa to meet diplomats from more than 10 countries. It's definitely a very informative and for me a learning experience. I also met some of the survivors from Tiananmen protest and learned new stories here. And
right now you're actually in Toronto, because for those who are watching globally, they don't know where you are, but you have been in Canada in the last few days.
Yes. Normally I'm based in San Francisco Bay Area now. My office used to be in Manhattan. This is my first trip here in 2 years. And it's my first time participating on Tiananmen commemoration here. It's important for me because Toronto is the strongest place for diaspora community activism in North America now. At least on the top there, especially on Tiananmen commemoration, because of the 36 years of hard work of Hong Kong, the Alliance 民运会 here, the Toronto Association for Democracy in China, and also in Vancouver. I think it's a very different ecosystem from cities in United States. In the past, almost every year, there are over 1,000 participants in the Tiananmen commemoration, and it's also very noteworthy that the events was well attended by representatives from the government, from other communities. This kind of solidarity is very strong and visible here. Also, younger generation here, like the Citizens Assembly, is also one of the strongest worldwide now among Chinese youth. And now I begin to appreciate like the context for this. That's because there is such a good environment for them to work on.
Okay. Now, 周鋒鎖, I want to ask you, remember the first time we met was in 2014, during the umbrella movement in Hong Kong, if you recall.
Yes.
And you were camping out in Admiralty, I believe. That was 11 years ago.
Yes.
Things have changed so much now that I don't think going back to Hong Kong, it's a very good idea for you or for some of us, because with the enactment of the national security law, it's kind of scary, right? Especially you are doing more activism work globally.
Yeah, actually, after 2014, I tried to join the July 1st protest in Hong Kong in 2019 during the anti-extradition protests.
Yes.
And I was violently manhandled by the police at the airport. They injured me. Actually, I was bleeding at that time from a scratch at the airport. And last year at the trial, and this is related to Zhou Xintong's case, I volunteered to go to Hong Kong to testify on behalf of Hong Kong Alliance. They, I think I definitely want to be there if they allow me.
Right. So you were beaten back in 2019 in Hong Kong.
Yeah.
So you went inside, or were you stopped at the airport?
At the airport, they want to force me into an airplane. So there were like 8 police. They tried to push me into a wheelchair and force me into the airplane back to United States.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And I screamed. I objected, and I stood up. Then they realized they were making a scene at the airport. Then they put me at the 小黑屋 the small dark room at the airport for a few hours. I insisted that they send me to my next flight to Taiwan, which they obeyed later.
So you realize you would not be welcome, even you were using an American passport, I guess, at that time.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I was actually a bit surprised, but that's also I should anticipate that because I was in Hong Kong at the umbrella movement, and it was well publicized. They probably know the information about my passport. So I think
You were on my radio show, remember, at
right.
D100.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
So,
Right. Well, I didn't know you were beaten and then forced to be put in a wheelchair, and then they roll you back to a plane, and then you have to leave. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's I didn't tell anyone beforehand, so it wasn't really talked about, covered extensively. I want to sneak in without being noticed, but
Right.
as a result, right? Yeah, there wasn't many reports about this. I can I can send you a picture of
Right.
my I was there in Hong Kong. This is June 30th, 2019.
Okay.
Yeah.
June 30th, 2019.
Yeah.
Got it. Now, are you using a laptop doing this recording, or are you using your iPhone right now?
iPad.
Oh, iPad. So you cannot see the pictures that I put up, I guess.
I can see. I can see it well. Yeah.
Oh,
It's
did you see
it's
the picture that we took yesterday here?
yeah.
Oh, you can see. Okay.
Yeah, I
Now,
see it well.
these are pictures that we took yesterday at the June 4th commemoration at the University of Toronto. And the attendance, I want to talk about it. Probably there are around maybe 200 people at the max, right? And then
Yeah.
on June 1st, the crowd was a little bit smaller than the year before, maybe a couple hundred. I'm talking
Yeah.
about Sunday.
Right.
So it seems like after 36 years, things have kind of died down. We are kind of at the low, just like the Tibetan movement after 66 years of fighting, right? Fighting for freedom.
Mm-hmm.
The Tibetan movement also has its ups and downs. And of course, when we talk about 平反六四, right? The
Mm-hmm.
younger generation, when I talk to people, younger students from mainland China who attend the University of Toronto, most of them, they don't know what June 4th Tiananmen means. You know, it's most of them, they might not have heard of it. So do you sometimes feel discouraged because both you and I, you know, we witnessed what happened either in Hong Kong or in Beijing or
Right.
different parts of the world, but it seems like the Chinese government, they want to rewrite the history, so nobody cares about it anymore. What is your take on that?
Right. I think it's normal, for the number to decrease a little bit from last year,
Yeah.
because normally, like every fifth anniversary, that's the big event, and after that, normally you see fewer people attending. But other than that, I think there are other reasons. For example, the complexity of things in United States, that's creating a lot of disruption, around the issue of China, as it was CCP and trade war, and the issues within United States. That's definitely yeah, like disturbing situation now. The overall environment is not that conducive, but that's okay. I mean, I'm taking it from the long-term view. It's like even in Hong Kong, I think the attendance for the Tiananmen commemoration at Victoria Park, there were peaks and troughs.
Oh, yes,
It's
yes.
not like continually increase. And
And there's
it
none in the last 4 years, none,
right,
as we know.
but that doesn't mean there are not that many Hong Kong people commemorating. I believe lots of people still remember commemorating, but they are not allowed to express themselves,
Yep.
just like in mainland China now.
Mm.
I'm quite optimistic, I think, compared to most people now, as to the future of democracy in China and Tiananmen, because I work with, for example, the young people here and
Mm.
everywhere. We also work a lot on cyberspace, like Twitter, Instagram, and Telegram. this year, I think it's surprisingly strong in terms of coverage on Twitter. It's much stronger than previous like non-major years. It's probably even it could be even stronger than last year
Okay.
in a way. Yeah, I think mainly because people in China they are facing lots of difficulties, and the young people are naturally attracted by this kind of issue. And we are seeing, for example, within China, people flock to game sites to using their own way to express their commemoration. We are seeing a lot of examples of that. Every year, there are people in China who commemorate and who arrested. We just didn't know. Like, yeah. For example, the 30th anniversary on Tiananmen Square. All the reports says it was quiet until a few years later during the white paper protest. I
Yeah.
met this guy Eric, who was there on Tiananmen Square, and he was there alone. Of course, he can't form a group, but he was there, and he found out there were two other young people just like him. They were kind of looking around, trying to figure out what's going on, and they all realized they were all there together for the same goal. They were there to commemorate, and then they form a group, and they begin to interview people, asking them what Tiananmen means, and and soon, of course, they were surrounded by plainclothes police, who
Yeah.
pretended to be tourists and arrested. But like the external world had no idea of had this happened on Tiananmen Square. Even more striking that when he was arrested, he was detained in a detention center near Tiananmen Square for 7 months before he was released. There, he was interrogated, questioned, and one guy, one police actually said, like, trying to teach him a lesson. He said, I just don't understand why are you guys so passionate about Tiananmen, and all that. Is that like every year there are these people who try to make trouble, like you, yeah, and like that. So the police said there are people commemorating on Tiananmen. There are people who are arrested for this,
Okay.
but we probably will never know. Like, it's just this guy is fortunate to have fled China, and we were in the protest together. That's how we I got to know this. That's the difficult part, and
Okay.
also last year, this year, there were people, young people who communicate to me in secret, saying that they are doing things in their own, sometimes in groups in college to commemorate Tiananmen, but we have to keep them safe. We cannot talk about this public says.
Sure.
So
Sure.
yeah, and if look outside of China, outside Hong Kong, and this year globally there are more than 40 cities that commemorate Tiananmen.
Yes.
It's probably same, or it could be even more than last year. And there are multiple events, for example, in Toronto, in Los Angeles, in New York City, many more events than last year. I think because these are from new immigrants, a lot of them who 走线, who like walked all the way from South America, Ecuador, to United States,
Yeah.
and these people. I met many of them at the Joint 4 Museum in Manhattan. Once they are
Yeah.
in the free world, this is the issue. They really care, and they commemorate. And I think
Okay.
no matter how they paint the picture, of wonderful life people have, there is a severe deflation going on in China. And for the first time,
Okay.
we are seeing large outflow of middle class from China, the- from people who store owners to billionaires, and they are collectively, I believe, against Xi Jinping now. But
Now, talking about Xi Jinping, I want to change subject a little bit. I think Donald Trump just had a phone call with Xi
yes,
Jinping a few hours ago, which was good. Some dialogue going on, but the new administration,
uh-huh,
the Trump
right.
administration, I want to ask you something about Jimmy Lai, which you know well about the story that Jimmy is incarcerated for more than 4 years now,
Right.
and the Trump administration talk about they would do something. Marco Rubio talk about uh, definitely they would try the very best to have a dialogue with Xi Jinping, even for the tariff trade war, that Jimmy will be a point of discussion. But it seems like nothing it's done, and Jimmy it's 77, 78 now. He was born in 1948, so he is a diabetic, and then he only got 45, 50 minutes of free time every day, and is in solitary confinement. Do you think Trump in his power will do anything to get Jimmy to be released,
I have
even though
I have tremendous respect for Jimmy Lai. When I was in Hong Kong in 2014, my tent at Admiralty was just a few tent away from his tent. He would go there every day, and sometimes in the
yeah,
middle of the day. And he was not always busy. Sometimes he just want to show his presence there. So we had a few chats. I was really impressed, by his modesty, and the way he carried himself. He was a senior, a leader, a billionaire, but he just want to be there, as
mm,
a protester, and he want to. That's how he shows his strength, and this is a giant in spirit. I really love him, admire him, for that. He was physically attacked like a few days later after I left, I think in
yes,
November
yes,
2014. Still, he carries on. I mean, he risked everything. He is the kind of person that CCP fears most. Yeah, people who really cares about
mm,
justice, spirituality more than anything else. And
yeah. He's like a devoted
yeah,
Catholic. Yes.
and he has a global following that's probably stronger than anyone else now. So I think it definitely makes sense for United States to raise his issue. Of course, I don't know what Donald Trump said to Xi Jinping, there's a lot of uncertainty there. I know for sure, of course, if it's Mark Rubio, he will definitely mention Jimmy Lai. I met Mark Rubio a few times, giving testimony on Tiananmen when I was at CECC, the Congressional Committee on China. Yeah, that I don't really know. Of course, I hope he will be released, and for his health reason, for humanity, he should live freely with his family.
Yeah. Any last word you want to tell our global audience before you head back to the U.S. this afternoon?
Yeah, I wrote an article at Committee for Freedom in Hong Kong, basically about Tiananmen and Hong Kong. And I would say that again, I have tremendous admiration for Hong Kong people, both people inside Hong Kong and including my friends from Hong Kong Alliance, Zhou Xingtong, Li Zhuoren, He Junren, Chang Mao, and young people. There's this Chinese student from mainland at Chinese University, Zeng Yuxuan. She was put in prison for 4 months simply for taking a banner, that Pillar of Shame banner from me. She was trying to commemorate Tiananmen 2 years ago, and she now disappeared. And we all witnessed the heartbreaking fall of Hong Kong in the last few years. But still, I think Hong Kong people, diaspora, are still doing a great work. They are carrying a lot of weight into the Democracy for China movement, and Tiananmen is our joint mission there. Please carry on. It does matter. Like every Tiananmen commemoration, and that it's a dark time now. A lot of what's happening now is kind of similar to Tiananmen 1989, to Hong Kong after 2019, especially for the diaspora community and for people who left Hong Kong recent years. There's a lot of adjustments to make, and especially young people. I think this is a long fight. This is a journey. It's definitely the most worthwhile endeavor that we can engage on. I really appreciate all these people who carry on. And my organization, Humanitarian China, we have been supporting the political prisoners in Hong Kong and from Hong Kong, and will continue to do so.
Right. Well, thank you very much for your time, Zhao Fengso, and I'm sure we'll be in touch very soon.
Sure.
Thank you, and have a safe
Thank you.
flight back
Thank
to
you.
the U.S.